Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Kristen Smith. A new law designed to boost high-value manufacturing through engineering firms and universities took center stage on Tuesday. Now it just needs state funding. With that investment, leaders think Pittsburgh could become the modern Silicon Valley. Joining me today is the Center Square's Pennsylvania reporter, Anthony Hennon. Anthony, take us deeper into what this Max Manufacturing Program is.
Yeah, so this is basically a way to boost public-private partnerships, sending out grants and loans, basically between companies and different businesses and primarily universities, it seems. This act was introduced by a Republican, but also it gained bipartisan support, and Governor Shapiro signed this into law back in June. Basically, it's a goal to bring in more advanced manufacturing and kind of high-value manufacturing to help the state grow, but also a way to keep professors and keep academic talent that's working on these issues. Pennsylvania has long been described as a place where innovation is hyper-local and almost entirely focused around Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and State College. But there's been complaints that it's been difficult to translate academic research or innovation into viable businesses. So it seems like we have a lot of state officials and state momentum behind trying to put some money into this and see if this can actually help grow the manufacturing sector, create more jobs, and create more wealth in the Commonwealth.
So why do they think that Pittsburgh in particular, and not, say Philadelphia, is the key to this?
Yeah, it seems like this is kind of playing to some existing strengths. Pittsburgh is developing a reputation here for some tech-focused innovations and business growth. Robotics is another big one because you have Carnegie Mellon out there, you have the University of Pittsburgh, you have a number of colleges that are really putting a lot of research money and still getting a good bit of federal funds as well. So I think it seems like this is one of those things where they're trying to build out the strengths. Philadelphia is getting more and more well-known for life sciences and information technology. Both cities have a lot of energy behind the medical field. Mining, extraction, manufacturing is still very heavy out around Pittsburgh and western Pennsylvania. So that seems to be the angle that we're seeing a lot of leaders take.
You mentioned in your reporting that there's no money for the program yet, but it sounds like leaders are pretty optimistic that there will be soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if people were not optimistic. This tends to be what politicians say. Even if their bill has no chance of passing, they always say they think there's going to be a good result in the legislature. I think this will come down to where Democrats stand on the issue, what Governor Shapiro is thinking, and of course, how much money is actually in the budget, how much tax revenues we're actually bringing in. So, there's always that kind of optimism, but I think the easy part is passing a program with no funding. The hard part is then getting funding into that program. But, we have a lot of on the private industry side. David Taylor, who's president of the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association, said that this is a glorious day. But he's also kind of wagging his finger at the legislature and the governor because of the pre-existing issues we have along either permitting, along slow growth in the state. He said, we need folks in Harrisburg to have a look to the horizon, to be mindful of that factor of the competitiveness of the other 49 states. The world is not standing still. It is critically important for Pennsylvania to stay in the mix for jobs, investment, and economic growth. One bill, one law, it seems, is not enough to really change the state's economic competitiveness. This is going to be a marathon, not just a sprint. So as much as, business leaders welcome things like this, there's a lot of headaches throughout the state that they complain about again and again and really lobby legislators to do something about.
It'll be interesting to see how this develops given Governor Shapiro's very manufacturing first PR campaign that he's been on basically since he came into office. So we'll have to pay attention to where this program fits in, if at all. Anthony, thanks for joining us today. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.